few insights into what's happening in Australia. So when I started the Electric Vehicle Council some 8 odd years ago, and the purpose of that was Australia was wildly lagging the rest of the world in the transition to EVs. And so we looked at, well, what is it that we can do to help fix this issue? And if you spoke to me back then or even 4 odd years ago, what I would tell you is that Australia is something like 10 times behind the global average or global market share for electric vehicles. The good news I have for you today is that we're only about 2 times behind. So we've done quite a lot of work. Of course, the rest of the world's continue to accelerate their efforts. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us. We don't want to stay at half the size of the rest of the world's market. So where are we going in the next 24 months? And where are the opportunities presenting themselves? So if we look just over these last 3 years, we've seen that the electric vehicle market in Australia has doubled every year. We've gone from 2% of all new cars sold in Australia to 4%, to first 6 months of this year, something like 8.8%. So a little bit more than doubled the year before. We've already sold in the first 6 months more electric vehicles than we did in all of last year. Similarly, if we look at other really big indicators of investment in our sector, things like public charging infrastructure, we've seen that the number of public chargers have grown by about 50% every year for these last 3 years. And not only has the investment grown, but the type of charging has also become better. We're talking about faster chargers with more heads per charging site. So starting to resemble closer to a petrol station model. We've seen that in the last 12 months, we've had almost a doubling of the number of models and variants of electric vehicles available in our market. Based on announcements for this next 12 months, we're expecting roughly a doubling of models and variants of electric vehicles again. And that's not just true for light vehicles. We're also seeing that occur right through things like light and medium trucks, vans and buses, and some entrances in the larger long-haul electric trucks as well. Australia hasn't had a national policy for electric vehicles. And since the change of election, particularly with the more supportive government, we now have a few policies in place while also working on that larger plans. National regulations to support this transition is about to launch throughout these next 12 months in Australia. So a doubling is sort of roughly the baseline of what you can expect.